Hey everybody, welcome back to another 3-minute Devo. These 3 minutes are designed to help you focus in on what is good. The Bible says whatever is pure, whatever is right, whatever is just, whatever is holy, think on these things. These 3 minutes are designed to help you think on these things. So today our verse is found in Romans chapter 1, verse 12. Paul, the author of Romans, he says this. He says, that is, that we may be mutually encouraged by each other's faith, both yours and mine. Now, what I love about this verse is that it's written by Paul. And Paul is, in my mind anyway, kind of a super Christian. He has a cape, the big C on it. He's a super Christian. He was the original missionary, and he's the Apostle Paul, right? And so when I think of him, I don't think of someone who needs to be encouraged by other people's faith. But what he says in this passage is he says that we should be mutually encouraged by one another's faith, or he's talking to his readers. I'm going to be encouraged by your faith, and you're going to be encouraged by my faith. In the gardening world, which I don't know a lot about, but I was reading about, there is something called companion planting. And what that means is that there are some plants that benefit from being planted next to one another. In other words, if you have a tomato plant, a companion plant for a tall, large tomato plant is a basil plant. A basil plant is a low plant, and it's not real big, but the basil plant actually gives off a scent that repels insects that would eat both the basil plant and the tomato plant. And so the basil plant actually gives off this scent that protects not only itself, but it also mutually benefits the tomato plant. Now, the tomato plant grows large and tall, and in the afternoon, it blocks the sun, which is beneficial to the basil plant because the basil plant actually needs partial shade. It needs to be a little bit cooler. And so the tomato plant, especially when planted properly in relation to the sun, actually benefits because of the tomato plants planted there. The basil gets the shade, and now both of them mutually benefit from being next to each other. That's what Paul's saying. He's saying we benefit when we come together in unity from one another's faith. I benefit from yours and you benefit from mine. That is the beauty of coming together as the church. That is what unity is all about, is that we can mutually benefit from one another's faith. And here's why. Because none of us have a perfect, full view of who God is. In fact, all of us have our own little glimpse of who God is, and all of us have our own unique glimpse of who God is. But when we come together in unity, we can be mutually benefited from being able to see God through someone else's experiences, see God through someone else's lens, and in doing so, get a bigger, fuller picture of who God is and His love for each and every one of us. Thanks so much for joining us for another 3-minute Devo. We'll see you next time.